This is John Hembry, just clarifying that I am doing the speech. This is a friend Jeffrey Lenta, friend Stuart Johnson, Carrie Hussey, Robbie Robertson, my uncle, Renee Hembry, and friend Austin. All right, everyone. I'd just like to thank you all for coming this afternoon to my public speaking and my last speech for my public speaking class. It is a persuasive speech, and the topic that I chose to speak about is texting and driving, the dangers of texting and driving, and basically why texting and driving should be outlawed nationally and not certain restrictions, but overall texting and driving be outlawed. Well, first of all, we've all done, we've all committed I'm going to say, well, I guess now in South Carolina, it is a crime to text and drive, but we've all done this before, most of us, in that matter. It's dangerous, it's unsafe, it's a risk to others along with ourselves, and a lot of negative, things nationally, locally, everywhere you go, there's always a tragic story on why texting and driving, should be outlawed, or someone's been hurt, or someone's been killed, or some horrible tragedy. But I'm going to be having three main topics I'm going to be speaking about. The first is the basic danger of texting and driving, just why it should be, the deaths, the age group of, who's texting and driving most and who's not. The second is the danger of texting and driving not only to the person texting, but to the innocent bystanders around them. The people, pedestrians, other drivers, safe drivers who are not texting and driving, and teens. And the last would be the financial aspect of texting and driving. Lots of money into insurance companies, car accidents, things like that, lawsuits. Why texting and driving, is so expensive, not, from, just texting and driving, but from the actual accidents and things of that nature. But, start off on the dangers of texting and driving. According to the National Study of Distracted Drivers, at any given time during daylight hours, there's 660,000 people participating in texting and driving at any given time. So on this device, every single day, every second, there are 660,000 people on a cell phone behind the wheel of a car. This could be emails, music, Pandora, things like that, texting, or just basically on the phone. And according to the Institute of Highway Safety, texting while driving kills 11 teens each day. Now you think 11 teens each day, 365 days of the year, that's a lot of deaths. Thousands. Well, yes, thousands. And, well, according to the 2012 statistics on texting and driving, there are 3,328 people that were killed in 2012 related to on the phone texting and driving deaths, which is just far too high in any standard or regard. Along with just deaths, there are 387,000 injuries related to cell phone use and texting and driving accidents, and that is an astronomical number that could be lowered by outlawing texting and driving and making it more just illegal and making the restrictions on texting and driving more severe. Also, going into my second tenet, the danger is not only to yourself when texting and driving. The danger is to the people around you. Like I said earlier, the innocent pedestrians, the people who actually do not text and drive, the, just people walking down the street who are getting hit by the car, who's somebody texting and driving or looking at their cell phone. Some of these people are cautious drivers on the roads. There are people who do not text and drive who have taken a stand against it, who think that it should be completely outlawed. It's horrible, and in many cases it should be. In most cases, 1/4 of teens respond to at least one message every time they are behind the wheel of a car. So 1/4, in my age group, some of the age group of you folks, these people, every time they get behind the wheel, respond to at least one text message while they're driving. And let's see, it was 20% of teens and 10% of adults admit to having multiple conversations with people while they're driving, meaning that they're actually talking, having full-out conversations that you would have sitting at home on your cell phone, but while you're driving. But what about that other 80 and 90% of people who are actually not doing this? These people who are trying to drive safely, who are trying to avoid car accidents. Of course, everyone is, but being fully aware instead of just somewhat aware of what's going on the highway. And then it's not fair to these people who are actually getting in the accidents with people who are texting and driving. And sometimes these people who are texting and driving get away with it. They say, I wasn't texting and driving, I wasn't doing that. And there's really no way to prove it necessarily besides maybe that person's word or, in a courtroom, not proven until you have some actual evidence. And my other tenet that I was going to mention on is that the cost for everyone goes up. The more people text and drive, the cost for insurance, health insurance, car insurance goes up, and the insurance to automobile accidents all go skyrocketing high. On a website called forautoinsurance.co, I got an example. Actually, I just kind of quick example of how this works. Say that you are texting and driving, and sending a tweet or something like that, and you plow into a tree or you plow into someone else. Someone gets hurt, your car's all messed up, total vehicles. The insurance companies have to pay. The insurance companies have to pay for the car to be fixed, have to pay for the damages of maybe the highway or the building you hit, the trees, the other person's car, their health bill. And whenever the rates go up for one person, they go up for everybody. That company has to compensate for paying, however many thousands of dollars it is for these other, accidents. So the less accidents there are, the less money all of us have to pay. Also, well, since that car insurance is mandatory in the U.S. And to the new government changes of the health insurance, we all have to pay some amount of money to one of these health insurance companies. And like I said earlier, the more accidents, the more deaths, the more horrible accident tragedies that happen, then the more we all have to compensate for this. And not to mention the different lawsuits that go into this. Hundreds of people are sued, each day regarding different accidents, many of which are in texting and driving. People are killed, and people have to pay lawyers, government offices, taxes, things like that. The more court cases there are, the more taxes we all have to pay. And also not to mention the fact that it's not just a financial loss, it's a personal loss for whoever's either getting in the accident, losing a friend, losing a sister, losing a brother, losing a family member, and really having to, deal with the fact that we're not just losing money, but we're losing family members, we're losing friends. And, real pain comes from those things a lot more than it does just financial difficulty. But just to go over kind of my three tenets, don't text and drive. It's, we're on our way, a strong way nationally to strictly outlaw it in every state. There's 49 states that have outlawed it in most regards, not in every regard. There are some exceptions, but we're on the way to totally outlawing it. And from that perspective, we've only gone up in that way, and it seems to be helping statistically, nationally. And yeah, but everyone, thank you so much for attending my speech this afternoon. I'm just gonna mention my sources right here, besides the ones that I had in my speech. Websites be www.myimprov.com/insurance, www.edgardner.com/car accident, and www.fcc.gov.or/guides/texting. And guys, remember, try not to text and drive. Avoid it at all possible. And thank you, and have such a great day.
One take.